Hello everyone, I'm Chirag and welcome to this video tutorial. So guys, in this video I'm going to cover the faster and easiest way to create and publish Lambda layers for Python runtime with a single command. So guys, earlier in the previous tutorial videos I have demonstrated the Lambda layer creation via temporary EC2 instances, which I have to basically spin up and configure it, followed by the creation and upload of the prepared Lambda layer to the S3 bucket. And then finally I go to the Lambda management console to basically create layers, right? And it was a tedious task. So to speed up the process and reduce the efforts that goes into the creation of the Lambda layers, we can now use this shell script, as you can see on my screen. So now with the help of this shell script, we will be able to create the Lambda layer packages for any Python runtime that is supported by the AWS Lambda functions right from our local machines. So here in this video, I'm not covering the details of this shell script, but you can go through it if you want. It's pretty straightforward. Instead, I will show you how to use this script to basically create and publish the Lambda layer packages and how it will help you in reducing the efforts that goes into the Lambda layers creation. So here, as I mentioned earlier, that with the help of the single command, it will create and configure the Lambda layer packages for the said libraries, and it will also publish that Lambda layer package to your AWS account. Okay, now in order to use the script, there are two prerequisites, that is AWS CLI and the Docker. So you need to install the AWS CLI and configure it, and then you also need to install the Docker on your system. Okay, now here on my machine I have successfully installed and configured the AWS CLI and the Docker. Now once you are done with the prerequisite part, you can move on to the installation part. Okay, now we are going to install this shell script so that we can run the script from anywhere, from any location. So here there are two ways to install it. So you can follow these three steps, or you can simply use the single command to basically install the script. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to copy this, open terminal, and I'm going to paste it over here, and then I will say enter. So here the installation is successful, and to check that out, we can simply type in create-layer and press enter, right? And it should be able to execute. So here, as you can see, it says invalid runtime because here we have to pass couple of parameters in order to successfully configure and package the Lambda layer. Now, once the installation part is done, we will move on to the usage part, that how we can use the script. So now let me clear this screen out. So this is the predefined format or the specified format that you need to follow in order to create the Lambda layer packages. Okay, now to invoke the script, you need to say create-layer followed by the name of the layer. So I would say, let's say I want to create a Lambda layer package for the request library. I'll say request package or pack, something like that. And here you need to make sure that you follow the Lambda layer naming convention, okay, so that you don't get any issues later on. And then in the second parameter, we need to mention the Python runtime, right? So for which Python runtime we want to create this Lambda layer package. So here I would say, let's say I want to create this package for Python 3.9. So you have to mention it something like this. Now, if you want to create it for 3.6, then you need to say Python 3.6. Okay, same goes for 3.7 and 3.8. So here the latest version is 3.9. So we are going to use that. So I will say Python 3.9 space the packages that we want to install. So I would say I want to install request package. Now let's say you want to create a Lambda layer package with multiple libraries. For example, you want to also install pandas in the same Lambda layer. Then all you need to do is you need to press spacebar and enter the name of the another package that you want to install. So in this case, it would be request space pandas, and then if you want to install numpy, then it would be space numpy. Okay, so this is how you can define or mention multiple packages. But at this point of time, we will simply say request, and then all you need to do is to press enter. Okay, now as you can see, the layer name is request package, runtime is Python 3.9, and the packages that we want to install is request. So now it's going to pull the image, right? That is from public ECR AWS Python 3.9 latest, right? So first it will look if this image exists locally. If not, then for the first time it's going to pull that image to your local machine. Okay, so let's wait for this to complete. So now as you can see, the image pull is completed. Now it's basically downloading the request package, and now it's basically compressing it and creating the zip file. Oh, it says AWS command not found. It's because I have not enabled my virtual environment. So let me do that. I will say documents, source code, then activate. Okay. Now I will simply rerun that command again. Let me clear this. So I'm going to say enter over here. So now as you can see, it's not pulling the Docker image right from the remote location, because earlier in the previous command it has downloaded it locally. So now it's going to reuse that. Now here it's basically installing the request package. Okay, and here as you can see, it says finishing up and thanks for source code. Now as you can see, the Lambda layer package has been published successfully. Now we can go to our AWS management console and navigate to Lambda management console just to check that whether the said package is published or not, and click on layers from the left panel. And here we will search for requests pack. As you can see, here it is. So I can open this. And now let's also check this Lambda layer package by attaching it to one of the Lambda functions. So here I have this layers test function. Okay, and the runtime is Python 3.9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say add a layer, and then I will select custom layers from the list. I would simply search for request hyphen pack that we have just created, and then I'm going to select the version, that is 1, and I will say add. Now here we have successfully added the Lambda layers. Now what I will do is I'm going to modify this code, and I will say import requests. Okay, and then I will say deploy, just to test right that this Lambda layer is basically configured properly and we are able to basically use those packages in our Lambda function. Okay, now we will click on test and then we will say test again. Now as you can see, it ran successfully, right? That means our Lambda layer package is basically configured properly, and we are successfully able to use that within our Lambda functions. Okay, now let's say I want to basically install NumPy right within the same Lambda layer package name. So what I can do is I can simply rerun that command. Now instead of request, I will simply say NumPy, and then I also want to, let's say, install pandas. Okay, so I want to create a Lambda layer package with the name requests pack, okay, with NumPy and pandas support. Okay, and then I will say enter. Now what will happen here is that each time you create the layer with the same name, it will publish a new version. Okay, so we will have a look in a while. So now it's basically downloading the NumPy, and then it will download pandas, and then it's going to basically compress that and prepare a zip file. Okay, and then once the zip file is prepared, it's going to publish that Lambda layer to the AWS account. Okay, so let's wait. So now it's uploading Lambda layer to the AWS, as you can see on my screen. Now as you can see, it's finishing up, and it's now finished, and the Lambda layer has been published successfully. Now we can reload this. So let me click on reload. Now as you can see, the second version has been published. Okay, now if I go ahead and attach the version 1, then I should be able to import request package, and if I go ahead and attach the version 2, then I should be able to import or use the NumPy and the pandas package. So guys, this is how basically you can speed up the process and reduce the efforts that goes into the Lambda layer creation, right, via the temporary E0 instances. So all you need to do is just go to this repository, copy this installation command, right? I mean, first fulfill the prerequisite and then just install this. And all you need to do is create layer name, and the runtime that you want to mention, followed by the packages for which you want to create the Lambda layer, and it will right away publish those layers into your AWS account. So now it's kind of a very straightforward and very easy to basically create the Lambda layers right from your local machine, right? So guys, maybe in the future I will add support for the requirements.txt file for this script, right? So basically stay tuned to the updates of this repository. I will mention the link of this repository in the video description. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope you will use this, and this will basically speed up the development process for you and your teammates, right? So I hope this is helpful. So guys, stay tuned, and as usual, if you want me to do tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below, and I will try my best to come up with the tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.